Saturday, November 30th. Thank you so much for coming back. You came back. My God. We're married now. This has been almost a month. Do you understand? A month-long relationship. You talk every day. I mean, feelings are just going to develop. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't stop it. This isn't a matter of a decision you can make in your mind. I'm invading your inbox every single day now for almost a month. Where are we going to go vacation? Like, how are we, you know what I mean? Like, we got to figure out all those little fun things. Well, it'll come to that. Like, we'll learn each other as we go. You've been pretty quiet, I have to say, so far. Very, very little back and forth, one might say. I don't mind carrying this though. I can handle it. Physically, probably not, because I'm not in the best shape. I'm not svelte. I always wanted to be svelte. Like somebody looks at, well, how would you describe the comedian on stage? He was svelte. That's never been me. We always want what we don't have, don't we? And so what I want right now is you, because even though we're so close, I don't have you quite yet. Like, you're not in my reality right now. Like, for you listening to this at whatever point in the future, you're like, but I'm already dialed in. I've already signed. I've already offered you all of my free time for volunteering to help make this happen. What else can I possibly do? I've already sent you directly to Sadhguru. But from my perspective right now, nada. Haven't made a single connection, except my father. He followed me without any prompting. He was my very first subscriber. I told no one that I've started publishing except my wife, but I wouldn't expect her to sign up. She doesn't know. She wouldn't know where to go. And she's busy nursing, being a nurse, helping people out. And she's got to be one of the best. Like, I think she should wear a cape to work, but they are a bit of a liability, I suppose, because if you're trying to get away from a patient, they could just grab it. It could be a tearaway cape, though. You're wearing what kind of superhero wears a tearaway cape? Not a lot of confidence in your abilities there. So, we had a long day. We had a long, good day. A lot of hockey. My oldest boy had 2 games. Had the game winner in the first game. If I can take a moment to brag as a proud papa. Game winner against my best friend since grade 9 was coaching the other team. His son was playing on it, and my son defeated them. Crushed their dreams for yet another day. I remember my friend and I, the guy I'm talking about, when Sean, we grew up playing hockey together, and I remember walking with him one day, and a really good line came into my head, and it was unfortunate that he had to be the victim of it. And I was like, hey man, you know how they always say, like, no matter how good you are at something, there's always someone out there who's better? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm that guy. Oh, scorcher. And today we were that. No, it doesn't matter. It's just lots of fun. It's so much fun watching your kid play a sport that you loved and spent so much time at. It's embarrassing. Like, if I'd spent half of the time I spent shooting pucks in the backyard into a hockey net, half of that time meditating, I'd be hand in hand with Sadhguru walking us down this inner world summit path. Unfortunately, no. I instead spent hours and hours picking corners and practicing and trying. I was going to make it. I was going to go to the NHL. And then it didn't happen. And that's for the bad. I didn't have the nature for it, really. But what did happen was very exciting. It was stand-up comedy. And it seems to be circling more. People are mentioning it to me more. I'm finding now people that were in my life even just a year and a half ago are starting to come into it more. It's weird because it's not a conscious decision on my part. It's just something that seems to be naturally happening. It's weird how existence works sometimes. I guess that's the whole point of this movement and seeking Sadhguru, is to harness that. We could learn how to harness that manifestation power. And that, to me, is what is more interesting. If that's true, and if there's enough of it floating around, and just from your own experience in your own life, you know this, that things have a way of happening when you need them. Exactly when you need them, in fact. Sometimes not when you think you should have them. And that's where we suffer. There's the suffering right there. It's not when we want it. It's on its own time. And so you have to allow for that. You have to recognize the fact that even though, yes, you are in charge technically of your limbs and where your body goes, there's so much more going on that you're not conscious of. And seeking Sadhguru is just the adventure to become more attuned and eventually master that process that's working just like your heart is beating without your conscious involvement. All these things are happening and more. Things that we're not even aware of because we're still partially asleep. I say, let's wake up. Who's coming with me? Hopefully you'll join me over at seekingsadhguru.com and get Sadhguru's extended wisdom today. There's a video, which means an audio for you. You're welcome.